So I think this is the latest I've ever been with getting my Dragon Ball Super review out. Honestly, there was nothing that, really held me back. I was just really busy and I was working on some projects. You guys have seen a lot of collaborations popping up on the channel, so that's pretty much why. So I'm just going to be doing a quick review for Dragon Ball Super episode 17, keeping it pretty concise for you guys there. So pretty much this episode revolves around Chi-Chi in the beginning of the episode. A lot of people are pretty mad about Chi-Chi. If you see this today, reserve some of your Chi-Chi hate until my video tomorrow with Dr. Blick. We're gonna elaborate on the Chi-Chi character a little bit, but the initial onset of the video or the episode was pretty much Pan is born. There's been a bit of a time skip. I believe they said about 6 months. So Pan is born. She's probably 2 or 3 months old at this point. Hercule Satan is sitting there playing with his granddaughter, and Gohan walks in. He pops on Great Saiyaman outfit and he plays with her. Pretty much they're just exposing her to fighting, because I can tell neither of them really wants her to be, just a soft person. Obviously they want her to be able to defend herself, if anything. She doesn't have to be like the strongest fighter, but at least be able to defend herself if push came to shove. So they're just pretty much there, and I can't really advocate, tossing a 2-month-old baby up in the sky, despite them saying, yeah, she can hold her neck because she's a Saiyan. I still don't advocate that. I don't care who you are. That's just so unconscious of the fact that this is a baby. I don't know. But so aside from that, Chi-Chi walks in and she was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you tossing this baby in the air like that? Now, granted, Chi-Chi's not wrong about that. That is incredibly bad parenting from Gohan's perspective. And Hercule should have known better. But anyways, she was just like, what are you doing? And then Chi-Chi just pretty much tells him, hey, I don't want her to be a fighter. And then that's when Hercule gets in an argument with her. He's like, no, I want her to pretty much be my heir. And she's like, fuck, no, I'm not gonna let that happen. And Hercule's like, who are you to tell me that my granddaughter can't do this? And Chi-Chi's just like, yo, this is my granddaughter too, bruh. So pretty much that's not what they said. That's like the vibe I got from them. It's like, well, neither of you can really say anything because you're both grandparents. The parents are in the room. They're the only ones that really have a say so. You ever notice that, like with grandparents? Yeah, they can kind of influence it, but like your parents are the only ones that can really, really say shit to you. But now, moving on, Chi-Chi ultimately locks them in the room, and that's when they reach out to Bulma because Krillin was ultimately, he's completed his cop exam. He said he failed it a few times. He was chasing those two bank robbers from the Resurrection F movie, and along the way, they run into Bulma. They get on Bulma's bad side. She winds up stopping them. Krillin's able to catch them. He gives her a speeding ticket. She's hella mad about that, like she isn't like the richest person in the freaking world. So she's just bitching about that. I didn't understand that. But ultimately, they get a call from Gohan because Chi-Chi locked them in the room, locked Videl, Pan, and herself in the room. And it was hilarious because when they cut to that, Chi-Chi threw up all the chairs, all the freaking couch and everything, keeping everybody out. And I thought that was just hilarious. This is more of like a summary than my own opinionated review like they normally are, but it's okay. And then that's when Bulma and Krillin show up, and Krillin's like, nah, I'm not going to talk to her. And they were like, Goku, why don't you go talk? He was like, hell no, I ain't talking to her like that. And then Bulma's like, yo, I'll try to go talk to her and calm her down a little bit. And as soon as Bulma knocks on the door, she says it's her, Chi-Chi's like, oh, another woman? Yes. Throws everything out the way. You can even hear the sound effect. That had me hella weak. And she just snatches Bulma in the room hella fast. That's so un-Dragon Ball-esque. That's just comedy right there. You can't even be mad at these episodes. That's so un-Dragon Ball. Un-Dragon Ball Z, because Dragon Ball Z was just honestly too serious all of the time. It was only really comedy and filler episodes, and these aren't filler episodes. Like me and Real Duro said in our latest video, these aren't really filler episodes. So at that point, this is like a very controversial line. Everybody, like I said, reserve your hate for my Chi-Chi videos coming out. Chichi's like, yo, they don't understand what we have to do. And these Saiyans just don't get it. And that's when Videl, they kind of put the ball in Videl's court and ask her what she wants to do. And, Bulma's sitting there like, empathizing with them. And she's like, yo, I can understand. But, look at me. Vegeta's been gone for 6 months training with Whis. And that's when Goku heard that shit. Goku came bursting through the wall like, what did you say? That was the funniest part of the whole entire episode. Goku came bursting through the wall like, what the fuck did you just say? Vegeta's been gone for 6 months. How the hell you didn't even notice that Vegeta was gone? There's just this, well, I guess you can't say that he couldn't sense him or he didn't sense that he was gone, because when they're just sedentary on the planet, their key, and they're not training or anything, their key is probably all the way down to 0. You know, they can manipulate it. They're not constantly powered up to where there can be sense. Vegeta's probably just, just blending in with the regular people as far as his power level goes. That's probably why Goku didn't really notice it. And Goku's not a very social person. It's been said several times that Goku will just, come back and see you months later, years later. Even at the end of Dragon Ball Z, they were like, Goku, we haven't seen you in years, when they had that little tournament in the last episode. So Goku finds out that Vegeta has been training with Whis for 6 months, and it's interesting to note that Bulma even says Vegeta has not come back. So that's very interesting. It's like, if he was going to do a ritual at some point, I'm going to keep harping on this until we figure out, because it just bothers me. You guys don't understand the stupid comments I get on that one video I have on my channel. It's at 100K views now on how Vegeta became, like my theory on how Vegeta became a Super Saiyan God. I just get so many stupid comments over there. And I'm just like, do you watch the show? Do you watch Dragon Ball Super? Because clearly he's training. So he's been gone for 6 months. He hasn't came back. He's training. And Goku spends the next about 5 minutes in the episode. Sorry guys, this is going to be a little bit of a longer review. It is what it is. And he's just sitting there, it's hilarious because they're playing like this like sneaky music in the background, to say the least. And he keeps like popping in on her, and he pops in on her in the shower. He pops in on her while she's eating, I believe. He's just popping in all over the place. He's like, has Whis come yet? Has Whis come yet? Has Whis come yet? It's almost like, that that Team Force starts, we there yet? No. We there yet? No. We there yet? He just kept popping in on him, and it just like Bulma was like, fuck this shit. And even got to the point where she gave him a freaking Android phone, a purple Android, I believe. And she was like, listen, bro, sit them cheeks down. Goku even sat down with his feet folded back, like, typically Japanese people do when they sit on the floor to eat up to the table somehow. Anyways, and she was like, don't come to me. I will come to you. I will contact you, bro. When Whis comes, I will give you a call. So then it turns into Goku. It's supposed to be working. He's not working. He ain't doing shit. He's just chilling, and he's just looking at the phone day in and day out. He's like, damn, this is taking a long time. He's just staring at the phone day in and day out. And then ultimately she gives him a call. All the while, Gohan's just lurking around trying to figure out what Goku's up to, because Chi-Chi's like, oh, don't worry about it. This will be, he shall try to be a good grandpa. And obviously he's not doing anything grandpa-like. He's just waiting for that call. And she ultimately calls him. Whis shows up, and he asks Whis if he could take him with him. And Whis agrees. And another thing that's interesting to note is that Whis said, hey, this is the perfect time for you to come. Or he said something to that effect. And then Bulma was like, I believe it was Bulma or Goku, one of them two. They were like, what do you mean it's the perfect time to come? Or I thought you said it was the perfect time to come. And Whis was like, did I say that? Like, he was downplaying the fact that he said that. And that's very interesting. Why would this be the perfect time for Goku to come? Because Vegeta's on par with Goku finally. That's pretty much what it's implying. So he did say that it was the perfect time for Goku to come, and he agreed to let Goku come. And Goku didn't have to do any special favors for Vegeta, apparently. So ultimately, the next 5 minutes, Goku goes back to being, childish, annoying Goku. And Whis is getting pissed off because Whis is trying to eat. Goku keeps interrupting. Are you done yet? Are you done yet? And Whis is getting hella mad. He's like, Goku-san, Goku-san, I can't even eat, mother. Leave me alone. And he just kept doing it. Like, Goku was on point in this episode. They really showed how just immature Goku is. This guy never changes. He's like 47. He just doesn't grow up. But ultimately, Chi-Chi finds out, and she somehow forces Gohan to fly her directly to Goku. I don't know how that happened either. And she's like, no, you ain't leaving. What you think you doing? You ain't leaving. And then Goku, she had him in an arm lock. I swear, Chi-Chi's the only thing Goku's ever been afraid of. He didn't really know what he was getting into in Dragon Ball. She chose him at like 10 years old. That guy was done for life. Yeah, he didn't even get a chance to experience no other women. But ultimately what happened was Whis is ready to go. Goku shakes free, and he's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. And it's kind of sad. you know, because he really he's constantly leaving Chi-Chi, but it is what it is, you know, that's just their dynamic, and Chi-Chi's the perfect one for him because she can deal with that shit. She can put up with that shit. So ultimately, Goku heads back with Whis, and they're going to get to training. And in the next episode preview, we did see some Resurrection F characters, Tagoma, Sabe, and Hishami, and we did see a little bit of their training. There's some clips where Goku's in his Resurrection F clothes, and then he's back in his regular clothes. So obviously they were probably kind of out of order a little bit. I don't really know what's going on with that, but we did see Vegeta and some of the training they were doing. So we're going to officially be beginning the Resurrection F stuff. This is kind of like the conclusion of the pre-Resurrection F, you know, that in-between saga. Like between the Namekian and the Saiyan saga, where similar to how like they were in the hospital devising their plans, what they were going to do, you know, that in between. So we also did see finally some Champa and Vados. They kind of alluded to that in the last episode where the Supreme Kais were talking, just like in Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 5. They were like, oh, these planets are gone. But that wasn't Goku and Beerus. These planets were just gone out of nowhere. So they noticed that. They kind of alluded to it. So we're going to be seeing Champa and Vados. Man, Vados looks so much better in the anime than she does in the manga. But let me know you guys' thoughts on the episode. This was obviously a pretty long review, but it is what it is. This is one of my favorite episodes. I had to throw that in there because I say it every time now. It's just I can't lie. Dragon Ball Super is getting better and better, and I'm just enjoying the ride. So leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.